Hi everybody!
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the channel and welcome to
Trasmoz.
Trasmoz, the only village in Spain that's been cursed and excommunicated by the church, surrounded in tales of witchcraft. Why are we here? Well, this is where we're going to be spending Halloween. So the history and the tales of witchcraft from this village all stem from that castle up there, which you can just see over in the distance, which we're going to be taking a closer look at shortly. And I'll tell you,
Before it gets dark, we're going to go and have a look at it.
we might still be out dark. We'll see. I'll tell you a bit more about the story of this village as we're going round. I was really excited to come here. Helen, not so much.
I don't like horror movies or anything like that. Why would I want to come here? Come here any other time. I'll take you for Halloween. Cheers. Thank you.
I have to say I'm starting to question my choices a little bit, mainly because as we drove in, there was a big flock of birds. They looked like crows, black crows, didn't they? And they just kind of parted in the road in front of us, and that was pretty creepy. That was pretty creepy, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's just a start. It's all going to go downhill from there.
We just kind of looked at each other and went, whoa. And they actually call a group of crows is actually called a murder. Did you know that?
Yes. I didn't want to mention it.
Yeah, so that was the start of our little Halloween adventure. Let's see how it develops. Come on, let's go have a look around Trasmoz. Great little free motorhome area, I have to say, just on the edge of the village. Dedicated space. There were spaces when we first got here, but it soon filled up. So just as you come into the village, there's a big sign saying Trasmoz, la magia del Moncayo. And Moncayo is the national park mountain range area that this little village sits in. Just about an hour outside of Zaragoza, still in the province of Zaragoza, but about an hour away from the city. But just look at the views now, after we've climbed up the little hill, heading into the village. Little bar, just as you get into the village, and some information signs here. Let's go take a look at them. Go on then. Now, the boys don't seem to be fazed about the thought of witches and witchcraft and pumpkins. They seem to be quite excited about it. Showing us the way. That's the town hall there.
Pretty cute, nice little sign.
Standing tall and proud on the corner, innit? Yeah. So there is the castle, where the story of this village and its witchcraft and hocus pocus all began. So during the 13th century at this castle, they'd started a bit of quite a lucrative business forging coins. This area was quite a wealthy area at the time, with a few mines, precious metals and things like that. And basically they started counterfeiting them up at this castle And to disguise the noise of the hammering and the scraping of all the tools, they started telling people that there were witches in the castle, and these witches were clinking cauldrons and making potions, and that's where all the noise was coming from. And that's the rumour that then spread across the village and to the surrounding villages. And at the time, this village was under no obligation to pay taxes to the Catholic Church, and that upset the local monastery. And so when the rumours of the witchcraft reached the local monastery, he came and excommunicated, I really struggle with that word, excommunicated this entire town, basically expelled them completely from the church. They were no longer allowed to go to mass or anything like that. Well, that didn't really bother the townspeople because they had this nice little side hustle going on and they were doing all right. So they didn't repent at all against the excommunication, and that angered the church even more, to the point that the Pope came and put a curse on the town. Now, this curse was such that because it was placed by a Pope, only a Pope, another Pope, could lift it, and to this day it has not been lifted. So the town of Trasmoz is still officially cursed. And shortly after the curse was placed, the castle completely burnt to the ground, and it's been left in ruins pretty much since, and that was the start of the decline of the town of Trasmoz. People got quite scared about this curse, obviously, after seeing their castle go up in smoke, and that was the end of their side hustle as well, really, because this is where they were making all the coins.
And this is where she's brought me for Halloween. Some people aren't bothered about this curse, are they?
No, it'd be fine. So, after the castle burnt down and people started getting a little bit suspicious that this curse could actually be something evil, they all basically abandoned the town. At that point, the population of Trasmoz was around 10,000 people. And within a short space of time, it reduced to less than 100 people. Everybody basically left the town, left the village. And it was left pretty much to rot for a long, long time. So those few people that were left continued going on about their business. And it went from being a very wealthy area to a very run-down, just abandoned village, basically, with just a few people left. Nowadays, it's still a small village. There are still less than 100 people living here, but they've embraced the history of the witchcraft and the witchy sort of tales and made a bit of a thing of it now. As you can see, as you saw, as we were coming up here, there's lots of different things commemorating witches and there's just witch things everywhere, isn't there?
Statues, little monuments, pictures.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool little place. I'm not
Trying
afraid.
to get into the spirit of things here.
Helen's got a trick-or-treat top on. I'm gutted we didn't bring the boys their little pumpkin jumpers, because the dogs have got little pumpkin jumpers, but we forgot them. That would have gone down a treat here. Let's see what this information board reads. Oh, it's in English as well. I'll read the English. The castle is very well located over a rocky hill on a quite extensive plateau. The Spanish country house presses together on the southern part of the hillside. The earliest news of this fortress date back to 1185, when it was under the authority of the Kingdom of Navarre. After no trifle amount of Count de Luna's legacy, the oldest parts are the great central tower and the 12th century cisterns, and the outside walled areas built during the 13th century. The castle was abandoned in the 15th century after losing the strategic role it enjoyed during the wars between Castile and Aragon. Both the historical and legendary origins of this castle have contributed to the duration of its magical and mysterious character up to the very present. It is quite creepy looking. Not so much now, but I bet at night it's really creepy up here.
Well, if you want to come up at night and have a look, you can come by yourself. I'll stay in with the dogs. It's not a problem. I'll look after them.
Incredible views of the surrounding area. And you can still hear some clanking going on. Coming over from way over in the distance. Can you hear that?
I think it's cows being herded.
Stop spoiling it. It's clanking. They've took over their little counterfeiting business and took it to the next village. Look, you can hear them clanking the tools. So after a lot of the population abandoned the village, it was just kind of left to rot for many years. Wandering about the village, you can still see how parts of it have not been restored and still look in pretty much a state of disrepair, really. Some fabulous views around here though, isn't there? Just miles and miles of mountains and...
Art carved into the countryside, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the trees are only in certain bits.
Just passing the local cemetery, which will be very busy tomorrow because here in Spain, Halloween is celebrated in Spain, but the big day around this time of year is the 1st of November, which is All Saints' Day, and that's the day when they pay respects to all their lost loved ones. And it's a national bank holiday in Spain, and everyone visits the cemeteries and takes flowers. And there's lots of things going on in every town, city, village in Spain on All Saints' Day. This area here is called the Plaza of Tia Casca. The Tia Casca was thought to be the last known witch lived in Trasmoz in the 19th century. So after the castle was burnt down and all the people left, the people that were left in the village did start practicing witchcraft. I guess they kind of thought, well, if we're being accused of it, we might as well do it. And Tia Casca is the last known witch to have been here. She was actually killed, thrown off a cliff, or thrown down a well, two different versions, after they accused her of being the cause of all evil around Trasmoz. There you can see some bits of the village have just not been repaired at all, just left. Barns, and this one's roof's completely gone in, but they're just not touching it. Maybe it's a cursed building. I believe there are still some people living here that could possibly be considered witches. They practice herbal medicine and things like that. That's kind of witchcrafty, isn't it?
I don't know, but anybody with any of the locals, we just smile and say hello and be nice, yeah, okay? We just keep it on level.
Especially if they're wearing a pointy hat and carrying a broomstick.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely.
That sounds
Any
like a
black
good
cats or
idea.
anything like that, we'll give you
Haven't
a sweet.
seen a black cat.
Not yet, there's plenty of time.
There are some funky smells coming out of some of the buildings though, like somebody's cooking up something. Do you not think? Like incensey type smells.
Oh,
Whoa.
look at this place.
Whoa. Look at that. That's creepy. It's just a Halloween decoration, but it's creepy when you're talking about witches and things like that. I think this could be Lola Ruiz, who is or could be considered still one of the witches of the village.
She's got the Witch of the Year award.
Witch of the Year in 2008. As I said, they have embraced the whole witchcraft history now. And it's not frowned upon really, it's white magic, herbal medicines. Nothing to be afraid of, Helen, absolutely nothing. White witches do not... oh, look, there's another one. There is still a fair few witches in this village. Look, they've all got plaques on the wall of where they live.
Have you seen the pumpkin in front of you?
That is pretty creepy. This says, here lives Lourdes Perez and Elvira Perez, chosen as witches of the year, August 2010 and August 2009, by the Asociación Cultural Embrujo Trasmoz. They even still have a witching association. And here, you're only allowed to park brooms. Freaky. There's a witch up there, look. I'm not sure if you'll be able to make it out on camera. Just caught my eye, but that is creepy as hell, just poking out the window. Whoa. Do you think she was a witch?
Very polite, so I don't mind.
This is the village square. Small, tiny square really. Don't know what that noise was, but it came from behind me, so I'm moving a bit faster, getting away from there. Freaking myself out here. How the hell did she get there when we were there?
Round that corner.
No, we come from that way.
We came from that way.
Not having it. She's flown round here on a broomstick, she has. You can see how some of the houses have been really nicely restored. And some of the parts of the village really well looked after. And then other parts have just deserted. Lots of interesting murals on the walls as well as you're walking around.
A very interesting little village.
It is. It's very cool. Right up my street. I did used to dabble in witchcraft myself as a teenager. Well, watched the craft and then copied what they did, if you can count that. And here we are, back to...
Hang on, turn the camera around. Do you think that's a kids play park or a witches training school?
I think it's a combination. It's a multi-purpose area. And back to the bar, the village bar. So that was a little tour around the village. We're going to go back to the van now, and we'll let you know shortly, if we survive, Halloween night in Trasmoz.
I will be.
Well, it's getting dark now, and this place is getting creepier by the minute. there's a cloud that's just made its way. Look at that. It's just sort of made its way over and it's just stopped. And it's hovering over the village. That's pretty creepy. So it's come, I've been watching this cloud for a while, and it's been moving from this direction, making its way over. And there's the castle. Castle's not in the cloud at the minute, but that big black cloud just seems to be like it's going to be hovering over the village on Halloween night. Now that is pretty creepy. And I have to say, if there's rain in that cloud, and it does start raining, I don't think we'll be venturing out tonight. But we are going to have a little look in the village in the morning to see what they're doing for All Saints' Day. All right, so it is the morning after the night before. How did you sleep in the cursed village, Helen?
Really well. It was a little bit windy, but that's just the time of year. So yeah, touch wood.
Yeah,
the
wind did get right up, didn't it?
Yeah.
But I didn't hear any clinking, any cauldrons clinking or chains rattling or anything like that.
You wouldn't hear them when you're snoring.
You're snoring. Can't hear nothing over her snoring. Not a thing. And the dogs. But yeah, we slept pretty well, didn't we? So today is All Saints' Day in Spain. And here in Trasmoz, they make a real big deal of it. They have their own special festival called Luz de las Animas, which means light of the souls. And by the looks of it, everybody from every village surrounding Trasmoz has arrived here today, aren't they?
Yeah, it's looking very busy.
There's like hundreds of people just come from everywhere. And they're all heading up into the village now because there's some sort of pumpkin thing going on. Don't really know, but we're going to go check that out now and see what the start of All Saints' Day, Luz de las Animas, is like in Trasmoz. They've even opened up an extra motorhome area down the bottom there, and that's even got full as well. Oh, there's some little stalls. We can get ourselves a souvenir. Oh, I love a little craft market. They've got some witches for sale. We might have to get a witch.
Estos vienen, la historia viene de Guatemala o por ahí. Vale, uno. Y si te va bien, pues a los 50, pues bien, ¿no? Y os lleváis 4, ¿no? No, pero yo te pago.
Cada uno lleva su. Si quieres, cógelo y léelo.
Got to get ourselves a little fridge magnet to remember our stay in Trasmoz. So what they're about to do now is give out all these pumpkins to everybody that's come to the village for decorating. So they'll spend the next hour or so decorating the pumpkins, carving them out, and then they're going to place them all around the village for today's festivities. There's absolutely loads going on in this village today. We have to make a move, so we won't be here for the big party tonight, which would be too noisy for the dogs anyway. But it looks like they're going to be having a fantastic day here in Trasmoz for All Saints' Day. Look at everybody diving in there, getting the best pumpkin. There's some kids there already getting stuck in, decorating, carving out their pumpkins. I think we should get a terrific surprise. I love that there's so many people who got dressed up for this today.
Even just like with hats or glasses or something.
Yeah,
made an
the
effort,
big
haven't they?
bebopper things, or we saw a little doggy with a pumpkin jumper on. I think they're in for a really good day of celebrations here into the night.
Yes.
It will be a noisy night up here, which is why we're going to make ourselves scarce. But we've got our surprise that we've just bought from the store, €1 surprise packet to open. So let's go open that and see what we got. Right then, let's see what we got in our €1 surprise. Bath salts. Because we've got a really big bath in our van. But we can use them when we get home. So guys, I hope you enjoyed spending a bit of time with us in Spain's cursed witchcraft village, Trasmoz. Been nice, hasn't it?
It's a nice, cute little village, quite interesting.
Not as scary as you thought.
Definitely not as scary as I thought, and the locals are really friendly.
Yeah, they are really friendly. So if you're ever in Zaragoza area around Halloween and All Saints Day, definitely come here because they've been really welcoming, and it's great for vans as well. Although it has filled up, they've opened like 2 extra car parks to allow for more vans for more overnight stays. And yeah, they've all been really friendly, really nice, haven't they?
Yeah.
So
it's been good.
It's been a nice couple of days. Don't know where we're going next. Where are we off to?
Who knows?
Where to next? Let's go see. See you on the next episode, guys. Thanks for watching.